Welcome to another video by Anchor Recovery Center. So today's video we're going to talk about managing anxiety because right now in the middle of this pandemic, I can imagine there's a lot of people having a hard time managing their anxiety. So first let's talk about how to recognize anxiety. So there's a bunch of different ways that anxiety presents itself. The first thing is the desire to control people or events. If you feel like you're out of control and you need to control everything in your environment, that can be a sign of anxiety starting to arise within you. If you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, that can be a sign of anxiety. If you're feeling irritable, agitated, any of those things, anxiety. If you're feeling like people around you are being defiant or you're being defiant or you're starting to see challenging behaviors in your children or yourself, a sign of anxiety. If you start to avoid activities that you normally like say you like to paint or you like to do music and you start to isolate and not really want to do those things anymore, that can be a sign of anxiety. There's other things that can be a sign of as well, like depression, but right now we're talking about anxiety. So also anxiety can present health problems to us. So think about when you have heard people say that stress kills. So what anxiety does is it produces a hormone in your body called cortisol. Stress and anxiety both produce cortisol, and cortisol in high amounts can actually be really bad for us. So we need to release cortisol from our body so that we maintain our health. Because if cortisol is not released, you can have high blood pressure, body aches, nausea, vomiting, all types of different physical symptoms because there's too much cortisol in your body. And over time, that can create chronic health problems. So how do we release the cortisol? It comes out through your tears. That's one way. So allow yourself to cry. And exercise and things that are pleasurable also release cortisol. So if you're starting to find yourself having aches and pains or headaches or nausea, all of those things, and it's not related to the pandemic, it might be anxiety. If you're having trouble paying attention or focusing, that can be another sign of anxiety. Crying, a lot of crying spells when you're, not able to handle things. Difficulty handling emotions can be a sign of anxiety, and feeling worried all the time. So there's a million things that can indicate anxiety, and a lot of us have intense anxiety, especially right now with what's going on in the world. So how do we manage anxiety? Well, first we have to think about our body itself. Our mind is very much connected to our body. So we need to get adequate sleep. We need to eat properly. So there's a whole section of psychology that has nutrition as a component. So what we put in our body impacts how we feel about ourselves and how we feel in general, like our physical health. So we definitely need to sleep right, we need to eat right, and we definitely need some kind of exercise. So like I said, exercise releases that cortisol, in turn managing the anxiety. So think of anxiety as like a built up ball of energy, and we have to release it somehow. So anything active can help you with managing anxiety. Like I said, exercise, but just taking a walk, anything active. A lot of times when you live in clutter or things are disorganized or you feel like you have a lot to do, getting organized can help you. Cleaning up, feeling like a sense of, okay, everything's in order, my house is clean, things are done. Or if you have a lot of things to do, kind of creating a list to make sure that you're getting everything done so you don't have to worry about it. You put it on paper. Anchor has meetings every single day if you need peer recovery support, but reach out to friends, family via phone, obviously Zoom or FaceTime, some of those things. So stay in contact with people, talk with people, gain support, because a big piece of anxiety is worrying about things that haven't happened yet. So problem solving in advance is very helpful. And other people can give you their feedback and kind of help you solve whatever it is that is worrying you. Self-care, very, very, very important. So self-care is taking care of yourself, doing things that make you feel pleasure. So for me, it's painting and music. Whatever it is for you, make sure you do those things. Taking a hot bath, whatever feels good to you. And in mentioning taking a hot bath, relaxation is very important when you're having a lot of anxiety. So you can go on YouTube and you can see guided meditations, guided imagery. You can do deep breathing. So if you count while you're breathing, a lot of people don't understand why deep breathing is so effective, but it gets more oxygen to your brain so you can think clearer, and it also reduces your blood pressure. So deep breathing is very important. It can calm you right down. Also, think about limiting your caffeine intake. And like I said, the things that you're eating. So obviously try to stay away from alcohol, drugs, but caffeine's a big one because people don't notice how much caffeine that they're taking in, and that can create anxiety for you as well. Think about distracting yourself from the anxiety. So doing something that makes you feel good. I was outside yesterday working in my yard. Yard work is very, very relaxing. So, and I'm sure there's plenty to do right now. Also journaling, so writing things down. It uses two different parts of your brain when you journal. So when you put your emotions on paper, it's very calming, and it also gets it out and onto paper and makes you feel a lot better. And you can also keep track and like look back and see where you were like a month ago versus where you are now. That's what I like about journaling, is you can kind of see the progress that you've made over time, but also it's very therapeutic for you to process emotions and feelings that you have onto paper. So another thing that happens when you're anxious or experiencing increased anxiety is we start to think really negatively. So think about your thoughts on a daily basis. Are you somebody that kind of defaults to the negative? If you are, a way to kind of combat that, it's kind of like when you go to the gym. You're not going to run 10 miles the first day you go to the gym. You have to build up over time. So when you find yourself thinking negatively, every time you think negatively, flip it around to a positive. And over time, every time you flip it around to a positive, you're going to retrain your brain to think positively and not negatively. Our brains have a negativity bias, so that means that we automatically default to the negative, and we have to retrain our brain to kind of think more positively. So that can also add to our anxiety when we're having a lot of negative thoughts. The last thing is, if you really are having a hard time managing your anxiety on your own, get counseling, get help. You can call the Providence Center, you can get in with an individual therapist, but it's really important for you to kind of work on yourself and maintain your health. And counseling may be a part of that. Medication may be a part of that. So do what you have to do for you. So if you really need someone to talk to and you can't get in touch with a counselor right away, we do have a line that's open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. here at Anchor, and the phone number is 889-5770. So again, you can call the Providence Center, 276-4020 for an intake over there, or you can call here to Anchor and talk to a peer recovery coach, and that would be 889-5770. Thank you so much, and I hope you get through this with the least amount of anxiety possible.